The 2026 election quite a ways away, but one South Dakota political organization is getting the momentum started early.
The Voter Defense Association saying today it thinks Amendment L makes a problem it's trying to solve worse. Grant Green joins us in studio to explain. Grant, good evening.
Good evening, Brian and Anja. Yeah, we're still over 15 months out from the next general election, but Matthew Schweik and the Voter Defense Association are ready to build up the cause on what they say is another effort to establish tyranny of the minority. Amendment L opponents have thrown the first punch, with former Sioux Falls Mayor Rick Noby and his pack coming out with a new catchphrase.
One of the more vocal members of our group, we were talking about it, and he described it perfectly. L, no.
Amendment L will make the threshold to pass a constitutional amendment 60% instead of a simple majority. Since 1972, only 1/5 of constitutional amendments have met that mark.
Voters will be asked to weaken the ballot initiative process in South Dakota. They will be asked to establish a tyranny of the minority.
Representative Hughes, the sponsor behind the legislation that put Amendment L on the ballot, previously remarked that amending the Constitution needs to be a careful process with a higher standard. However, Schweik says that shouldn't mean a minority should have the power to reject a ballot measure.
It comes down to a more fundamental principle. What power should the South Dakota voters have over their Constitution? We think that if a majority of voters in the state want to amend their Constitution, they should have the right to do so.
Proponents have also argued that Amendment L would in part address the issue of big money affecting South Dakota elections, but Schweik says that would not be the case.
If Amendment L takes effect and constitutional amendments require 60%, the only people who will be able to attempt them are big money out-of-state groups, because they will have the resources to run all of the ads necessary to hit 60%.
Schweik says this effort is partly in anticipation for another legislative session that he worries will be filled with attacks on the ballot initiative system. The group says they want to carry the momentum in case of a possible ballot referral for a revised bill that would require a certain amount of signatures from every legislative district to put a measure on the ballot. And we did reach out to the sponsor of the measure and are still waiting to hear back.